Yeah, yeah. So this is Ron, and today is April 1st. Yay! Good Lord. This whole year's gonna be a nightmare, isn't it? So anyways, the four. The four is a door. It's movement upward. It's not expanding this way, it's going straight up. 4, 4, 4 creates the tower of the 12, but in light of masteries, the 44 would be mastery of three or mastery of foundations. But the number four is a gate as it is a door, and the four upon the year, so the four upon the eight. So there's a door of time upon time, and together they create that pinnacle, which is the 12, the expectancy of noon to midnight. That we have even Stephen 12, 12. Because if it's L even as 11, 11, then you can be damn sure that 12, 12 is even Stephen. And we know in regards to that, only the truth that's talked about, not the, the real truth of it. I'm almost paused it. I think I can hold myself. Okay, so the 4 on the 8 makes the 12. That's the 3. That's the 12 being the pinnacle seems like it should be its own number, but it does break down to a simple 3, which is the artist number. It's the creativity and beauty. It should be what we experienced this past month in the month of March. That 3, that recycling number, that finding the usefulness out of the old and the broken, actually finding your life again, like I hope to find. Now the 3 upon a day today makes, because it's a 1, and in a 1 is beginning, it's a start, it's an idea, but as it makes its combination and it unfolds itself, it presents the 4. So there's the door. Today's a door. Yeah. Um, I guess my father, who art in heaven, the Fodder, the father, he would say, "Don't let the door kick you in the ass." Yeah. So that's not the kind of door we're expecting, is it? No, no way. Door that's knocked upon. Now, I must admit, I'm a bit in denial of my circumstance, especially my health, because it's painful. It seems that the diagnostics are what cause most of my problems. But when I look at realistically, like testimonies here on YouTube, which aren't really testimonies, they seem to be grouped in like oncology groups in different names. One was called Amgen, and they control the subject matter, they control the wording, they presenting the patient as a testimony, and then they leave no comments open. So there's no interaction for anybody who's going through the same thing or has the same kind of story. But what I find amongst those oncology and doctors and universities that have taken control of this subject, small cell carcinoma of the lung, those who have taken that subject on YouTube, because I've done the search engine looking and looking, they're not including the people who are speaking, people who are experiencing it, people who are going through you know, their emotion of it and how they express themselves and the questions they have, and maybe some of the answers they could hold for someone like me that should be more aware. See, I don't think I was prepared on discharge as to what I'm facing. And I guess they expect you to look it up. So I'm sitting here, because I have a doctor's appointment today, and I'm sitting here looking at the computer and I'm watching these testimonies and then watching the differences between a small cell and a non-small cell, so forth like that. But it seems that life expectancy for these individuals is 1 year, at least on the end of the professional videos that are presented by a doctor of oncology at this place or that place. One was it? I think it was West Virginia or something like that. Oncology group that was speaking, but it seems that that's it. And then they want to talk about, you know, hospice and palliative care, where they, the old thing. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I'm in denial. I'm in denial. I'm not getting that at all. And I think I think about tribulation, and I've never felt that it was the end of the world. Of course not, because it's not the first resurrection. This isn't going to be the first resurrection. No, this is the harvest supper of the Lamb, and then the two witnesses, and then the ultimately knowing that it's the beast that overcomes the two witnesses. So for me, I I have been able to envision more of a reality of a future, doing my own thing and discovering all the things that I used to love to do. And I used to be very meticulous at how I kept things and did things, and I loved it. And then I ended up becoming a servant unto the beast or the man who serves the beast system. Can't say man, really. Not really. So, the beast, yeah, the servant of the beast. And I've always been the servant unto the beast, since my earliest beginnings. When I was 13 years old, I went to live with this woman who didn't have children, but she ran a wild animal rehabilitation center sort of thing. Yeah, she worked with the state, and then she eventually moved from El Paso to Chaparral, New Mexico, where I was to live and work until I graduated from high school. And of course, the intent, of course, wasn't really truth for what I knew of it. And she was a handler and a PO, yeah, right up to the end. And so I did my great escape at 17, but it was with issues of abandonment, disappointments. I was an innocent child, and she was the adult, which is sad, sad, sad. So, anyways, yeah, that's the beast. And it was during that time that I lived at the animal shelter or the animal rehab center that I became the servant unto the beast. And that's when I first started cutting meat. It's like a butcher. Yeah, it was terrible. She would get donations, rabbit donations. She would get all kinds of meat donations, and my job was to cut all that meat and store it and put it in the freezer. And then, of course, every day taking it out of the freezer, rotating it, and then setting it for thawing it out for food for each animal and distribution. And it was a lot because there were bobcats, there were monkeys, there were fox, owls. She had a coyote once, and then porcupine, and all kinds of birds, lots of birds. And so we kept our own rat colony. We raised a rat colony so that we could feed. And we raised mice, things like that. It was, it brought me forth to my whole life of being a servant. always a servant. And I'm a servant unto the Lord, so I should go wherever he shall go. I shall follow him wherever he shall go. And well, that's the grave. And I ain't so brave, right? Well, it's not that I'm not brave. It's that this is where you want to be. You know, redemption's for the dead. The gula, those are the souls who need to be redeemed. And they're already gathered. And no matter how much Israel or Judaism wants to speak of the future gula, I don't think they understand what redemption's for. They're here already. They don't need redemption. We don't need redemption. What we require is salvation. And I've said that too, many times. And that's only in the case if you're in danger. Anything that's in danger should have salvation, deserves salvation. And as a human, as humanitarian, we should want to provide salvation for those who require it. Protection. Yeah, of course. So anyways, yeah, big fat me for being in denial. I took a, THC jelly this morning, so I'm feeling pretty good, even though I'm so sore and I have a lot of questions, and I will get them answered today. I'm a very, very nice oncologist, and Gomez. So, to Gomez, Jesus Gomez, and I had three Gomez's, three doctors, Gomez, 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 down to my new PCP, and I think that's just wild. That Gomez means man, so 666, the number of the beast, but it should present itself even in light of the trauma of the hospital and stuff. Yeah. So I think that I don't know. I'm just looking at these videos and I'm a little disappointed. There's all these doctors, people in the know, and all this great knowledge, and here they're saying a life expectancy of about a year. You're ready, even shorter if you're more staged out. So I'm only stage two, and I guess it's because of my own panicking mode of doing things. I'm just walking around. I do apologize for that. I put out a video that Dargo was going to the fountain. He did. And Jeff spent all afternoon up there trying to process him. Hey, that was Jeffrey. And that was the dog. There's the dog. And he has an appointment today. Yeah, and he's non-dog friendly. Non-dog friendly. So he couldn't stay at the kennel. What, you want to go outside? Hold on. Zoom? Yeah, it did. It's ticking. Yeah, so it seems cruel that we have to process Dargo in such a way to surrender him. But it's too dangerous right now. Too dangerous. And he is a wild dog. He literally was raised by his own parents and, his mom and dad. And then it's his dad who's turning on as he's claiming the mother as his own property. And then he's willing to fight the whole household for it violently. So it's too much. And I do apologize if that offends anybody for me giving up when I'm in denial of my own self, my own selfish self. So now I feel like the selfish one. But I don't. I'm staying strong. I know that the years that we've had together have been wonderful, even though he's been a pain in the butt. all dogs are. But, some of us live long, long lives and others don't. Like there's talk about he's 17. I still regret thinking that, even though he was afflicted by his kidneys and all that shut down. That's very sad. That's an old dog. That's a whole life. And Dargis had a full life at 13, so but it's today. And so this morning I have to get on the bus to go to my appointment, and then they take me home. They bring me home. So it's a ride share, or whatever, not ride share, but some kind of small bus thing that picks me up and drops me off. And then I should get home probably around noon, just before noon. And then his appointment is at 1:30 or something, 2 o'clock. So it'll be a personal one-on-one thing with the technician up there, the Jeff. So it's gonna make me feel guilty, right? You know, he's got devilish plans right now. He's trying to figure it out. He will circle and circle, 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 and he takes up territory. And if, like, even if I try to tell him to get off the bed, he'll go, "Ah." It's okay, okay, cool. Do what you want to do. So I don't know what got over it. The solar cycle, I guess. So I still need to fix breakfast, but I kind of spoiled my appetite with some no-bake cookies, peanut butter no-bake cookies. Yeah, those are good. So I know I've gained weight. So that's interesting. You know, most of the cancer patients, that's what it is. They start losing weight, and then they lose dexterity. They lose their strength. They lose their um, their ability to function daily activities. Their activities are reduced until they find themselves in bed. And then they're in bed for 12 to 14 hours at a time with a little shuffling here and a little shuffling there. Well, then you know the end is nigh. You know, that's death. So maintaining activities of daily living is important. But just as important is getting back on the bicycle, getting back into life, getting back into the person that I was in order to elicit the health that would naturally flow. So, so that seems to be an issue, or what becomes of those with lung cancer. It's all based on their ability to have activity. Hmm. And since I like to garden, I mean, I want to be out there, but right now the bacteria, the mold, the fungus, it would affect me because I'm my immunity. So I have to find some other interest that can get me mobile, mobile, where I'm actively doing things. One of the things is that now that each room is getting absolutely cleaned out, that I go through and start keeping it clean one room at a time. Because there's nothing like a workout, like a vacuum cleaner. Good Lord. That should rip your arms off. But it has to be fun things too. It does. So walks, I need to figure out how to get out there and walk, even though I'm in a mask. But just take a little trips. Problem is when I'm on my own and there's no one there with me. Yeah. So I'm in denial. And they're saying 1 year upon diagnosis. Well, are they talking stage 4? Good Lord. Poor folks. Makes you wonder. But I did watch a video with this one lady. Um, she's 11 years survivor, but now her cancer is finally metastasized and has entered her brain. So that's not good. That's not good. So she had 11 good years as an advocate for survivors. Today seems to be a coughing day no matter what I take. So there's probably particulates in the air. I know the pine trees are ready to let loose. I mean, when you just thump them and they go poof, and all the yellow smoke goes off the pines. Yeah, it's just about ready to happen. I'm sure it is. So at any rate, um, today is a door, and it's an opportunity, isn't it? Stand up. Yeah, stand up. And for as long as that I was in the hospital, in bed, in my jammies, and then walking the hall, and in bed, and in my jammies all the time. And then coming home and then trying to get a grip on the whole reality thing and then the whole house getting torn apart. Yeah, I think I'm handling it pretty well. Yeah, I think so. So I'll give you an update and we'll get through the store today. It's a little bit of work because the number four, it's like the 13, number 13 is that notorious number, but the 13 also means a number four, which means it needs a lot of work. And I'm 13th generation American. I am. I'm Ron Haskell, and I'm of Mark Haskell, Deer Isle, Maine, 1635. And I'm 13th generation. My mom was 12th generation, and her parents were 11th generation. And so I was born in one of the 13 colonies, and, and I was born 13 months after my brother Rick, who was born on October 13th, which is the anniversary of Fatima. And I was born on the 13th hour. I was born on 12 at 12:59 p.m., so I have a minute to spare. That's what I have. And I was born 7 days before JFK was assassinated, making my eighth day awake for the nation. And of course, that whole subsequent sequence of events has to do with proverbial Camelot, which is the kingdom, and that great sacrifice, which was the head, which then now resulted in 10 kings without a kingdom as presidents. And that's not including Biden because he's not a president. He's a figurehead. The seat is empty, obviously. And the little horn was Pence. It always, it's so silly. Such a silly little job to be the little horn. It's such a marvelous little thing. You only given a little short time and you did it. And you screwed the nation over and you just sold out. So Pence was on the fence because he was CIA, he's Bush. So the plant was always the spy. It was written in the words. And as the little horn, destroyed without hands. So it's nice, it's comforting to know we've gotten past that whole portion of scripture that it's fulfilled now. That's fulfilled. He's the little horn and he did his thing. The horn being little, being that of the trump, a trumpet of God, a trump. So the little horn would have been the vice president at the time. And yes, that's what he did. And he used to be Democrat and he flip flopped over to Republican. And he was a backstabber. And he was a place man, just like Obama. They want to make Obama some kind of what? He's just an antichrist. There shall be many. He's nobody. And he's a false prophet for his belief systems. Sure. What a hypocrite. And a plant. Aren't they all there? Yeah, aren't they all? It's like Roseanne Barr. There's always two trying to and on the coattails. Yeah, you have to watch out for that. They ride them like brooms. Yeah, they're worse than the practitioners. That's too bad. Okay, well, I'll let you go, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Have a good day. Number four. And it has to do with careers and work and foundations, but it's standing up. All month we need to stand up. This is the month of standing up in time, in, upon each day.